Hello, collective. Welcome to the moon report. We have a new moon in Aries, and this report is going to be pretty raw and uncut, let's say. And I'm here really to speak from the heart. I went to go prepare for this report the way that I always do, and looking at the chart and all this stuff. And when I went to do that, something just felt completely off. And something told me, just speak from the heart tonight. Just speak from your truth and your place of being. And I'm going to attempt to do that as best as I possibly can. As I like to listen to those callings and listen to those guidances. And I guess I'm going to start there by asking you if you're listening to your inner guidance and asking you if, even if that inner guidance says something that you don't want to hear, are you moving into those spaces with questioning, with trust, with compassion for yourself first, and empathy? And where is it that you find yourself today? Because based on all the astrology that's been going on, as we arrive into the spring, as we cross over the spring equinox in eclipse time between an eclipse portal with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, slowing the whole thing down so you can really feel it. Where do you find yourself today? Because whether you like your surroundings or not right now, you're exactly where you have chosen to be and where your vibration is belonging at this moment. And we're either looking at that with celebration or we're kind of like, shit, this is where I am, or I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here. And, this time is closing the end of the Aries Libra node cycle. And this new moon in Aries is closing that chapter. For the last 18 months, we've been moving towards Aries, moving towards that self, that preservation, that individuality that we are being called to keep even when we're in relationship. And we had a really long time to work on those relationships. So, what do you want to move forward with? And if you're having to have the hard conversation with yourself, then do it and land where your feet are and accept, because we're moving into the cycle of Pisces and Virgo. And in this access, we're being told through the North Node that Pisces is the way. And what does that mean? Ultimately, surrender. So if you are where your feet are at, you need to surrender to that moment. And if it's somewhere that you want to be, then surrender and dive in and dive deep. And if it's somewhere where you don't want to be, then surrender, because there's something to learn, there's something to transcend, there's something to transmute. And the anecdote here is love, inspiration, letting go, continuing to move into surrendering to what is. And some of you may be like, what is it? What is she talking about? and it may be as simple as an idea. It may be as simple as a change of perception. It may be as simple as moving to a different location. Don't overlook what's changed because a lot has changed, starting with you. And you will not be that version of yourself ever again, the one that stayed behind the portal. And this portal is closing slowly because we have Venus in retrograde and we have Mercury in retrograde. So, this eclipse portal, that solar eclipse that happened in the new moon about 2 days ago, is slowly coming to a close. And there is no rushing it. So insights and things may still be coming in. The gifts from this new moon may still be coming in. So what seeds did you plant and which ones are taking fruit? Spring is a time of aliveness. The earth is alive and you are part of the earth. And through these cycles and these seasons, we get to see what our nature is. And in the spring, we celebrate the return of the sun and we reach towards the sun with our gifts and our talents. And we have all been shedding, we have all been changing. And I know it's scary. Trust me, I'm living through this right now. I know that it's scary to find yourself in a place that you didn't expect, or being in a place that you thought you were going to be, like, I'm sorry, not being in a place that you thought you were going to be. The one thing that I can say from my heart today is drop the expectations and let go. Allow spirit to move through you. Connect to that soul part of you right now that came to have this human experience. And allow whatever's going to move through you with at least the least amount of resistance. Because that's where the magic is right now. And we're all seeing a lot of craziness outside of us. The world is absolutely fucking nuts. And it doesn't matter what you believe or which side of the fence you're at and things like that. We can all agree that it's fucking nuts, right? So if that's happening out there, that's happening within us. And that chaos that your feminine and your masculine side are attempting to bring into union, attempting to find the perfect mix of wild and order, right? That is happening within us. So let go and surrender to it, even if you don't understand it. Because for the next 18 months, you're going to be asked to do that over and over and over and over, surrender into what you don't understand, but you feel you're being called to, you're intuitively perceiving. So I go back to my first question. Are you listening to your intuition? And if you're watching this right now and you're like, what does she mean by intuition? Like, what is she talking about? If you're here now, it's because you've been pinged by your intuition before. You wouldn't be at the Anima Collective Modern Mystic Moon Report if there wasn't curiosity in your soul about moving energetically through the world. And what do these principles mean? And you know that you know that you know certain things. And I ask you today to trust that, because it's within that trust that you're going to get through these 18 months with joy and creativity. The South Node is in Virgo, and Virgo is all things efficient, all things very, very done right. It's very important for Virgo to do things right. And that's why they suffer from perfectionism. And when I say they, it's not like I'm talking about Virgos out there. I'm talking about the energy of the sign and what it carries. So let's watch these things like perfectionism and being in control of everything. And let's move towards Pisces, where we surrender to what is, and then come from that place of trust, right? And a little bit of innocence, you know? So, those of you that are here, in the Moon Report Live, I want you to tell me in the chat one way that you're feeling right now. One way that you, one word maybe that describes coming out of this portal for you. What was the sensation, the feeling, and where you find yourself today? And I ask you that's watching the replay to do the same, you know, and drop a pin in this new moon in Aries. Because just as I'm saying that it's an end of a cycle, it's the beginning of a new one. Isn't that always the case? Something ends for something to begin. So, what are you beginning? And are you doing it with excitement? And if you're not, then surrender to that, you know, and find the inspiration, the community, the the faith, the way to source joy, you know, because it really is right now the way to do it, to let go and to try to stop analyzing and figuring it all out and having to know and having an expectation, and surrender to each moment, little by little, step by step, and find your community to help you do that. Find resources that will, you know, help you with areas of self-love, areas of, you know, um, maybe moving into creativity, picking up a hobby, a craft. There's a lot of really beautiful things that can come out of a confusing time. So don't waste time analyzing the moment because you just might miss it. So I just want to leave you with the first question. Have you been called intuitively, lately? And what is that? And then I want to ask you again to surrender to whatever it is, because it's exactly where you're supposed to be. Before I go, I want to share some of the things that the collective have been sharing here. So someone said in between, that they feel in between. And I feel that. I really feel in between right now. And I think that this is going to, go on. Usually we feel the effects of the new moon or the full moon for 3 days after it happens. It's exact. So I feel like this one we're going to feel drag out a little bit. But that also gives us an opportunity to continue to set intentions, right? Because we're in retrograde right now and we're not really ready to, move forward with anything. you know um you know there's probably a lot of doubt and confusion around decision making around this energy. Someone else said curiosity has been a calling, and I love that for this Pisces North Node time. Curiosity is one of those things that keeps it moving. Stay curious, you know, stay willing to listen. Someone else said, currently wired, plug into a power socket. Oh my God. It's, you know, and these eclipses can be super intense in terms of like surges of energy. And they set the tone for the next 6 months. So approach the questions that I asked with curiosity. Approach them, as a way to inspire you into the right direction. And that encourage you to just let go and let go and let go again. And then surrender again. You know, it's been a really weird time for a lot of us. But if we stop and analyze, we probably could find the blessings and take the time to do that as you're, moving through this energy. And you'll see where the blessings are and honor them and give them acknowledgement, you know, because there's so much negative shit going on in the world right now. And these little exercises of honoring the good stuff and taking a moment to really be appreciative of the blessings, moving into pleasure. Um, you know, while you think you don't understand and while you don't quite, realize exactly what's going on or you feel out of sorts, in the meantime, just go have fun. Go have fun, you know? Go have a good time. Go laugh with people, you know? Go not take yourself seriously for a couple of hours. Go play with children, you know? Rest, take naps. So I would say that my word for the way I feel right now is um really flow. I think flow is the word. Like I'm finding this flow right now where I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to figure it out. Oh, I'm like kind of letting myself off the hook a little, and not creating that resistance as much and allowing the flow to happen. So find where you are, be where you are, and take care of yourself every single day. I love you. Take care of each other. And remember, we're not supposed to understand it. So don't try to, okay? Inspire yourself and move with your intuition. Mwah. Big love.